What's going on, everybody? Here, Time here, and today I wanted to make a video on how to play D.va a bit better if you're struggling at how to play D.va. And I wanted to start with D.va because ever since day one of Overwatch 2, which I didn't play Overwatch 1, so I started playing when Overwatch 2 came out. Around the first day when it came out, I started playing. And ever since that day, I've been playing D.va a lot, and I've loved tanky characters, but I especially love D.va. When I played tank, I would always play D.va, so I kind of know quite a bit about her. She's still not my most played character in my career profile, which sucks. But yeah, she's definitely my most used tank by far. So yeah, I can give a few tips and everything, and this might be a longer video, but I assure you it will be worth it. So let's go and get into it. Alright, so I want to start with abilities. Now, I want to put this into two sections. The first part is just going to be showing the abilities, and then the second part I'm going to be showing how to use the abilities better. So starting off with abilities, I guess it's not really an ability, but it's a primary fire, which is just these miniguns that shoot. And then your first ability is this boost. Now, I'll go on more how to use this better in the future, but a lot of times this is to get away from enemies. If you're being chased down, you can go back. And also it's very useful to get back to your team if you die and you need to get back on the payload or whatever, get with team. And then your second ability is these missiles, which you can also shoot at the same time. And then you have your roller, or it's called Defensive Matrix.
Defense matrix.
And what this is this, whenever somebody's shooting at you, if they throw something at you, like if Junkrat throws a bomb at you, you will consume it. Sometimes you can even consume ultimates. Like if you're close enough to Hanzo's ultimate, you can consume his whole ultimate and it won't even get past. It can consume just bullets and stuff. Like I said, Junkrat's traps, Junkrat's bombs, anything like that. Now I don't know if it can consume Tracer's pulse bomb, but a lot of things it can consume. So it's very useful. Now something it can't consume is lasers. Lasers will shoot through it. So like Zarya's laser will shoot through it. May's primary fire will shoot through it. Symmetra's laser will shoot through it. So that also Moira, her primary fire. I guess you call it her secondary fire. Whatever you want to call it. Whenever she attacks you and sucks you. So that also she can suck through the matrix and hurt you that way. But you can consume the orb that she throws. So make sure whenever she throws that orb, you use her matrix, get that out of the way so that you protect that from your team, because it might not hurt you a lot, but it can hurt your mercy a lot or any of your other supports or your damage, and you definitely want to take care of your team as a tank, so make sure you do that. And of course her ultimate is a bomb, which you just
Nerf this.
like this, and you blow up a bunch of stuff. And then while you're out for mech, sometimes if you don't use your ultimate and you just get damaged enough, you will get out of your mech and you'll have to get your mech back and just your primary fire. I don't know about you guys, but it reminds me a lot of Zero Suit Samus. Samus in general, like whenever she's out of her suit, this is like Zero Suit Samus, if anybody's played Metroid. Maybe I'm one of the many few people that has played Metroid, but yeah, it reminds me a lot of Zero Suit Samus, and her getting out of her suit and stuff. She has this little pistol, just like Zero Suit Samus, so. And all of this is really used for is to get your mech back. I wouldn't suggest staying out of it for too long, as you don't do a whole lot more damage than being in your mech. So try not to stay out of it and be in the back lines when you're in this mode. And try not to get shot a lot, although it can be hard sometimes, because sometimes you might rush in too far, which I've done many times, and your Mercy can't get you. Your Mercy tries to go get you. She dies, your other support dies, and you're just dead, so yeah. Oh, I almost forgot. When you call in your mech, this also does damage, so let me see if I can damage this guy a little bit. Let me see.
Calling in the big guns.
So yeah, as you can see, it does a lot of damage.
You need
Now, I might be
me.
mistaken, but I think most people, like this Tracer, I don't think you even have to shoot her a little bit, and if you call the mecha in on her, it'll instantly kill her. So characters that have around that much health, I don't remember how much health she has, but around that, like 150, 200 range health, it might not kill Reaper instantly, but especially because he has more health. remember that the mech can be used strategically too, and you can land your mech on people and kill them that way too. Alright, so now I want to show how to use the abilities a bit more efficiently. So I showed what the abilities do. Now, this is a combo that I normally do when I attack people, when I attack a widow or whatever. I'll tell you what I do first, and then I'll do it. So I use my boosters, and then my rockets, and then I shoot my primary. So like this.
No issue.
Now that's a very useful combo that you should know. Also, another tip you need to know is you should be shooting headshots as much as you can. And while you're not shooting,
What else is new?
make sure your defense matrix is up. And then also something that you might not know is you can do your defense matrix and shoot rockets at the same time. So you can be shooting rockets while also not getting shot, like this. You can't shoot your primary at the same time, but you can do that. But something you can also do is you can shoot rockets and shoot your primary at the same time. So like this. Kind of like that. So that you have a little bit of a window to get healed, you know, by your mercy if you are getting damaged, and then you put your defense matrix up so you can get healed and not get shot. So kind of like that. So I think that's it for the tips for the abilities and stuff. So that's most of what you need to know. Just do the combo like this, rush them, and then you can also use your defense matrix at the same time as doing the rockets. Honestly, she's a pretty easy tank to learn. You just gotta kind of play her a bit to figure her out. Okay, so I wanted to go in a bigger room. This is the aim trainer that I mainly use. Now, what I wanted to show was how to use your ultimate more strategically. I know what you're thinking. How can you use an ultimate that is literally a mini nuke more efficiently and strategically? Well, I'll show you. So I'd say there's three main ways you would use your bomb. So the main way is if you're defending or something and there is a payload. Now, also, before I mention this, be wary that payloads are kind of a counter to her ultimate because you can hide behind the payload and you can't get killed by the ultimate, so be aware of that. But if you're trying to rush a team, you can rush into them. And you can actually, instead of making your mech pull up like stationary here, you can actually rush it like that. Make it go pretty far away like that. That's how mainly people do it. Now, another way is you can kind of surprise the enemy if the enemy is already, you know, familiar with how D.va ults work. You can do this, which is kind of a risk, but you can make it go straight in the air like this. So that way, by the time now this room is bigger, so it's kind of hard to get it to work in this room, but you kind of make it go through the air, and by the time it lands on the ground on a normal map, it will hopefully kill some people. Now this method, or any D.va ult really, is you either kill the whole entire team or you kill nobody at all. That's the way it always works. And then another one is, I can't really get damage here, but let's say I can get damage and I'm about to get out of my mech. So if you get damaged so much that you get out of your mech, an easy way to call back another mech and not be so vulnerable for a long time is you can do what I call an emergency ult, which is your mech goes down, you use your ult, so that you instantly have your mech back. Now this can kill some people, but your main aim there is to get out of there and kind of scare the enemy team to get away from you while you're baby D.va, so you can get your mech back. That's the three main ways I would say to use your ult. If you have any other ideas how you can use it, or somebody's more experienced than me that can tell a better way to use it, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. But that's the three main ways I would say use your ult. Alright, so now I want to go over D.va's strengths. So obviously you're going to have your strengths and weaknesses of characters. So your strengths is going to be mainly people that are mainly long-ranged. So Widowmaker, for example, of course she can headshot you, but with your defense matrix, she shouldn't be much of a problem. Especially when you get up close with her, she's going to be very, very paranoid. So If you rush up on her, she's definitely not going to be able to shoot you. So characters like that, you're kind of a counter to. Ashe as well. She will also be paranoid, not as much as Widow, but she probably will be. I don't think McCree really counts because he's kind of long range too. So, and also when you get close with him, it's kind of bad news because of his grenade. I wouldn't say you're either a counter or McCree is a counter against you, so it doesn't really go either way. It's just kind of balanced. And then Pharah, you're also a counter because you can use your boost to get high in the air and shoot your rockets and shoot your primary fire. And you're kind of a counter to Pharah if you can get her. And Junkrat, I wouldn't really say you're a counter to, but his bombs and stuff, you can kind of get out of the way and kind of help your team a bit so that they don't go past you and hit your other sports or your damages and kill them before you. You definitely don't want to be there alone. And then Ana is another long range, so you can also get Ana. Ana would be a good one. Zenyatta. Honestly, Lucio too, as you can just rush up on him and shoot your rockets and stuff if you can aim good. So that's it for the strengths for D.Va. You know, just you're a counter for a few people, but honestly, you have more weaknesses than strengths, since you do already kind of have two ults. You kind of have two lives in a way, so I think it's pretty balanced that way. So yeah, that's it for the strengths. All right, so for the weaknesses, you have quite a bit of weaknesses, so let's go over them. So your biggest weakness, your biggest tank that's going to be an issue is Zarya. So I highly suggest if you go into a match blind, you know, you're saying, okay, I'm gonna pick D.Va, especially competitive too. You don't want to make your team scream at you. If you see a Zarya, I want you to do me a favor, head back and pick somebody else. Do not even attempt to go against Zarya as D.Va. As I said, she can shoot through your defense matrix. You cannot protect against that. She is an absolute hard counter to D.Va, so please do not play D.Va against Zarya. I am tired of seeing people play D.Va against Zarya and get absolutely rolled, especially when it's my team, and it's just annoying. Just stop playing D.Va against Zarya. You're not that guy. Just switch off if you're going against Zarya. Now, Symmetra is the same story. I wouldn't switch off D.Va immediately, but I would say be very wary of Symmetra too, because she can also shoot through your defense matrix. Now, Moira, also, as I've said, her secondary fire, whenever she attacks you, you can still get hurt through your defense matrix. Now, her orb that she shoots, you can suck that up and it won't damage you. Also, Mei is a very big weakness that she can slow you down. Not only can she slow you down, but if I'm not mistaken, her primary fire can shoot through your defense matrix, kind of like a laser. So do be wary of her. And of course, your booster isn't going to help you if she puts a wall behind you, so that's also another counter for you. So she can be very dangerous. So do not 1v1 a Mei. Just never. Just don't ever 1v1 a Mei as a D.Va. Also, Bastion is a tank killer pretty much. Be wary of him. Now you can, you know, obviously his bullets and his tank mode and stuff, and his grenade, you can suck up through your defense matrix, but I wouldn't really say that you're strong against him, as he can still put quite the bit of damage to you, so be cautious of him as well. Now, the last weakness I want to show on D.Va is not really a counter weakness, but is a weakness as of your head. Her head is very easy to hit, as you can see. So any hit scan characters like that, be wary of. Any characters in general, just make sure when you're D.Va, you're almost always using your defense matrix to the maximum. So use it all the way down to the red bar, and even past that if you have to. Just make sure you use it at all times, because when I first started playing D.Va, I kind of forgot that it was there, and I just wouldn't use it, but you do need to use that. That's an amateur mistake, not using your defense matrix. It helps you a lot. As I showed you, headshots are very easy to get. Also, something I didn't mention, this isn't a weakness, but I forgot to mention it. If you're near cliffs and stuff, your boost can also act as like a knock-off thing. So you can also knock people off, like that. So that's kind of something I forgot to mention, but you can do that. You can knock people off with your ult, or not your ult, your boost. So do keep that in mind as well. So that's about it. Hopefully this video helped you. Let me know if I missed anything. Now, obviously, I could have gone over every single weakness and every single strength of D.va, but that would take me all day. But you can mention something in the comments that I forgot if it's very important. Now, if it's something like, well, you forgot to mention Reaper because Reaper can kill you up close. Like, yeah, obviously, Reaper, that's literally his whole thing. He can kill anybody up close. He can kill Reinhardt up close. He can kill Ramatra up close. He can kill Orisa kind of up close, but without headshots mainly. But, you know, let me know if there's anything major that I left out. I feel like I got pretty much most of it, but I might be forgetting a few things here and there. But yeah, just keep in mind the tricks and stuff I told you, the combo you should be doing. And I guess I forgot to mention also, you can also cancel that boost thing so you can stop it whenever you need to. Oh, and also, you can do this as well. You can boost through the Matrix and shoot your rock at the same time, but you can't shoot your gun at the same time, so I would say this is a better combo to do this. Other bot. Oh, there he is. And just remember to always get headshots as you're, and make sure you're getting up close when you're shooting too, because far away you can't really do much damage, as you can see. Not a ton of damage as you go further and further back. You need to be up closer to do damage. So yeah, just keep in mind the strengths, the weaknesses, and all that kind of stuff. How to use your ult more efficiently, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just let me know if I forgot anything down in the comments below. And if this video helped you, make sure you subscribe, and I will see everybody in the next video. Bye.